with me, y'all let me know. We will work something out. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to help you take a look at what you want your 2019 to look like. And the reason that's important is because you have to be able to see it in your mind's eye, inside of your imagination. You have to be able to see it there first. How many of you have written goals and not accomplished them? You know, they say you need to write your goals down, and then you have a greater chance of achieving them. And that's true because it exercises a different part of your brain. Okay, so coming out of your mouth and writing it down, those reside in two different places in your head, in your mind. So it is always good to write your goals down. Unfortunately, sometimes we write goals down in ways that our mind doesn't really process. A lot of people don't process that way. So for example, money goals, they don't mean anything to me. I have to tie something to it that is meaningful. So this happens to a lot of you. You're doing your SMART goals this time of year, but if you don't see the possibility and see it real and feel that it's a possibility, chances are that it won't happen. And I'll give you an example of that. I went through a training, a very expensive training, I might add, in New York. And I had, they walked us through this process where we visualized 10 years out, and then we reverse engineered everything. And so I went through this great training for a whole weekend, came back home, life happened. I found that goal sheet 5 years later, and I had accomplished one thing on that goal sheet. And that's because I didn't actually see anything. I was just trying to get through the exercise. So a lot of times we do that with goals. I used to work for corporate America, and they made us set goals every year about accounts that we would pull in. I ended up pulling in more accounts, but not the ones I put down on my sheet. So sometimes you end up with exercises that aren't very effective. But here's what I want you to do. On the top of your page, the first page, I want you to write the words, or write this phrase, what's not working? What's not working? And I want you to start writing things. I'm going to prompt you just a little bit to kind of jog your memory about what's not working in your business right now. So, is it that you don't have enough clients? Maybe you don't have enough corporate clients. Or maybe you don't have enough teams that you're working with. Maybe you're not getting enough referrals. Write these things down. That what is not working. How about your technology? Is that working? Is that not working? What's not working in your technology in your business? Whatever that may be. What's not working around sales? Are you struggling to close enough business? Are you having clients buy into a starter package and never moving forward into something that actually is a long-term relationship? Is that the problem? How about your marketing? What's not working around marketing yourself and your business? Do you have trouble making slide decks, for example? Or posting on Facebook or running ads? Is that a problem? Maybe you have a course that you want to create and you can't seem to get it online. What kind of clients drain you and steal your energy? Are you struggling with any kind of systems or anything like that? Are you just having trouble getting it all done, getting it all in? Are you having interruptions, like with family or other things that keep preventing you from really staying focused? Are you missing out on strategy, like really knowing the exact path to get to where you want to go? Hey, Jennifer, welcome to the call. We're writing down all of the things and frustrations that we have around our business, the things that are not working. So if you can just get a few things down, I'm not sure if you're hearing me. Okay, so did you guys get a good list of things that are not working for you? Let me hear from everybody. Just type in the chat box, yes, that you've got a list. I need to know that you have a list. And if you're driving and you can't write it down. Oh, you've been on the call since the beginning? Okay, good, Jennifer, no problem. Okay, so you guys have some stuff that you're dealing with. Yes, Maggie has a list. I think we all have a list. Okay, good. Want to make sure you guys have a list of stuff. So here's the issue. Yes, good. All right. Most people, the problem that we have, most of us, we do this all the time, is we stay focused on what we don't want. And we never quite get over to what we really do want because we keep having this interruption here, like not enough money, or we run into that problem that we keep having, right? Yeah, Chad, your list is a little longer than you'd like it to be. Hello, welcome to the party. I think you're speaking for everyone here. So here's what I want you to do on, I think you really only needed to have 3 sheets of paper. So the next sheet of paper, I want you to write on there what I want. The next sheet of paper, at the top of the paper, I want you to write what I want. All right, everybody with me so far? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take each item from your first list of what's not working and ask this question, what do I want? What do you want? And I want you to write it down on the other piece of the paper. Now, sometimes it's the contrast. Sometimes it's a complete contrast. I don't have enough money. I want more money. Other times it's, I'm not working with the right client. What do I want? What I really want is a few select ideal high-end clients. So is everybody with me so far about how I want you to take the contrast or the problems? And I want to know, what do you want? And I want you to write on the second sheet what you really want. So if one of the problems is you're not doing enough marketing on Facebook or enough marketing for your business, then I want more Facebook marketing, for example. Who wants to open up and work with me for a minute here? All right, I'm going to call on somebody. Maggie, I was just getting ready to unmute you. Maggie Harris. Unmute and tell me what's going on.
All right, so I've started out with, and bear with me because I do have a cold.
Yep.
I've started out with to have booked coaching and workshops for the foreseeable future. So to have some comfort in knowing that my first, second, third quarter are building, which is kind of happening. That's the first thing. The second thing I have is clients who will refer me because my work has had an impact.
Okay, so we have not enough referrals.
Right.
And not enough workshops booked.
Right.
Would that be fair?
Yeah. So am I going off my what's not working first?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. All right. And the biggest thing right now is prioritization. I feel like I need to be doing this. No, I need to be doing this. No, I should be doing this. And it's kind of paralyzing sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And part of that is because you don't have a clear vision of where you're going and
Correct.
what you really want.
Correct.
Like tell me if this is true. Things are sort of fuzzy out there. You kind of know what direction you're going, but it's not really clear.
Right. And then I'll sit and listen to someone, and like we're talking about what we're doing in Gilbert, Arizona. And then I get this whole thing like, oh my God, we could totally do that here. That's where I need to be focused. So and part of it is because the potential is so enormous that I'm struggling with where do I put my focus, and how do I break that down in pieces to make it to have short-term goals that deliver on the long-term goal.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's what this would look like. Not enough workshops booked. So what do you want?
I want to book more workshops.
Okay, but let's be a little more specific, because guess what? You met your goal if you did one more.
Right. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. And I would like to have, like, I guess 5 to 6 half to full day workshops a month.
Okay, good. Write that down. So 5 to 6 full or half day workshops a month.
Minimum.
Great. Okay. Great. Or more for 5 to 6. Well, you would, if you wanted to do it that way, you would say 6 full or half day workshops, 6 or more full or half day workshops.
Okay.
That would leave it open, that you want 6 or more.
Yes, that does feel.
Yeah, you're looking to expand. You're looking for expansion, right, on that. But you want to give, you got to give your brain something other than I want more workshops. I want more workshops.
Right.
I want more workshops. So
being specific is important.
Being specific, but then there's a point where you can be too specific and it'll railroad you. Like you won't get there because it's so specific and so narrow that you don't leave open serendipity and, like the magic of life to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
Y'all know, right? I'm high in connectedness. So kumbaya.
Same.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the same thing about referrals, not enough referrals. So what would good referrals, what do you want around referrals?
So I actually wrote down ask more people to refer, being more comfortable with asking, I guess.
Okay. So you're getting a little ahead of the game because you're trying to put
Fix.
your action in there. And that's not where I want you to go. I want you to stay in dream mode right now. Notice, though, here's what I want you to notice. Notice how you went in and started putting in the action
Mm-hmm.
before you have the dream fully fleshed out, the
Okay.
vision. So how many referrals, like dozens, but no, seriously, how many referrals do you think that you would like to have?
Uh, that's difficult to, let's see. Um, I mean, between now, like I'd have to tie it to attach it, I think, to a time frame, maybe. Um,
Yeah, you can. I mean, you're working on a month, so this is what when we started out, you were going way ahead to third. I want to know for first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Now you're looking at a month. A month.
okay.
So that might be something more concrete for you. Some of you
Right.
high and futuristic, you're going to go way out there, and the problem or the trouble that you have is pulling it back in to put the action steps in after, because you see 5 years down the road, but you don't see 5 months down the road. Like it's harder for you to sharpen your vision on what's right here in front of you. Does that make sense? Yes, Jennifer, you feel that you have could it be something like at least one client referral for every 3? Sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
25, you could say 30% of my clients provide a referral, a highly qualified referral. That would be, what do you want? I mean, that would be great, right?
Yes.
You could say 100% if
Or
you wanted.
at least 50%.
Well, we're talking about dreaming, so you can dream about anything you want. Sometimes what we do is we put limitations based on what we think reality is instead of staying open to complete open to all possibilities. So I just want you to start to get a feel for it, Maggie, instead of I want more referrals.
Right.
Everybody wants more referral. Everybody. That's my
Everybody.
Southern way of saying everybody. Everybody wants more referrals. But when you start to really think about it, what does a referral feel like to you? Because that's important too.
Well, I like the idea of the highly qualified referral versus just someone appeasing and saying, "Oh, sure, I'll send," but someone who can really um, authentically refer because, and I'll go back to what I want, which is clients who will refer me because my work has made an impact. So I would like my work to make an impact with 100% of my clients. So
So yes, I don't want to get involved in the how, but there are ways that you can do that. That you can encourage 100% referral. So they're just ways that you can do that, but you have to know what a referral feels like, a highly qualified one. So we're going to get to that in a minute. We're going to cast a vision for that for you.
okay.
So who else wants to share something that wasn't what Maggie did? And Jennifer, if you don't have a microphone, you can pop it into the chat box if you want. I just want something else to work with. I want to take something that's really vague and make it a little sharper. So who's got something they're having trouble with? Okay, so Jennifer wants a more defined vision of which companies she should be marketing to. Okay, so right now, are you marketing to anybody? I can't, I'm hoping she saw that. Because it's important that you really narrow your vision on which companies you should work on. You're kind of new. Yes. Just with people you know. Okay. So some of this, so a more defined vision of which companies that you're going to be marketing to is going to be the companies you want to work with. So here's the answer to that. What do you want? Or here's the question that will provide the answer. What do you want in a company? Okay, so you've narrowed down that you do not know that you're qualified. So guess what? Right now, you're not qualified to work with C-level because you think you are not qualified. Does that make sense? So that's a great thing. Can I tell you that I am absolutely not interested in working with C-suite executives? Does not appeal to me one bit. So guess what? That's okay. Yeah, Joe, me neither. I want to work with coaches. This is what I love. So really identifying, so let's envision that for just a minute. Like Target and whatnot, who embrace a good store and organizational culture. Okay, so look, you've really narrowed that down now from I don't know, but I want to know more. I want more companies. Now we know that the companies that you want to work for embrace a good organizational culture. That's a lot. That is a lot more narrow focus than, okay, so what's your epiphany? Oh, that is your epiphany? Okay, good. Good. Yes, exactly. So who else has something? I'm glad we've narrowed that down for you. Who else has something that they are sort of waffling over here that it's kind of big and they don't know how to really narrow it? April, you should be really clear. I worked with April yesterday and she got some clarity. Who's got something that they still have that's a little gray? You don't live in the right country. So what do you want? I want to move. Okay. So, Joe, I'm going to open up the line here. Come out and talk to me. Come out and play with me, girl. She lives in Peru. Right, she lives in Peru, Jennifer.
Yes, I live in Peru.
So just a question though. I'm going to challenge you on this.
Go for it.
What does the country you work in have anything to do with what you're doing? Help me understand that part. You don't live in the right country for what?
I don't live in the right country to expand my business the way that I want to.
Okay, what do you want?
Which is to do more in-person workshops for strong communities.
Okay. All right. So really, let me just stop you for just a second, because it's not the country that you're missing out on. It's not the country that's the problem. It's that you're not doing enough in-person workshops to build strong communities. Correct?
Mostly correct, yes.
Okay, because I don't want you fixated on the country you live in, because that's not helpful.
Well, what I said was that I could, if I don't move, that I'm at least traveling more regularly to workshops that I can do in person.
So when you said you're not getting enough workshops, or did you say that what's wrong is you live in Peru?
I had that down as well. That I don't have the number of in-person workshops I would like.
Okay, cool. So if you could do more in-person workshops in Peru or right around, you'd be fine, right?
In Peru or Mexico or Ecuador or the US, anywhere.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with living necessarily in the right country. I know that you see it that way right now.
Not necessarily. I guess the reason it always comes up is because it has just, anytime I try to do business in Peru, it feels like I am met with just a bunch of roadblocks. Whereas things that I would do to promote my business or do my business elsewhere in Mexico, in the US, that I know have worked before, just don't fit the formula for the country I'm in. So it just feels like an uphill battle, which is why I focus on online stuff. But I'm really missing out on the in-person piece. And Peru is not a country that is open to, at the moment, has not appeared to be the country that is open to doing what I want to do.
Okay.
For in-person.
Yeah, you keep referring to your feelings, and that is your subconscious mind talking to you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily telling you the truth. I'm just saying. It's telling you something from the past. We're going to get through this, I promise. Elisa.
Well, you wanted big and vague, so there's big and vague.
Okay, that is big and vague. Did I help you get a little more narrow, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Elisa, welcome. And I'll tell you what we're doing is we're writing down everything that's wrong with our business. That's what we did first. Are you coming on for a sec?
That's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to give you, I'm going to give you a minute or two because I know
that's fine. Keep going.
But what we're doing is we are taking what's wrong with our business in right now, what's not working in our business, and we're asking the question, what do I want, to find out, to get clear on what we really want. Okay. So
gotcha.
Yeah, Jennifer, I think Joe's done some of that kind of work. Jennifer's she has ideation, I'm pretty sure, or futuristic. So it's just a general cultural issue. Okay, great. All right, who else has something vague that they need to narrow down? In fact, Elisa, let me just work with you for just a second and tell me one thing not working in your business.
I don't know. I need some time to think about that, Rhonda.
Okay. Some of the other examples have been not enough clients, not enough workshops, not knowing what companies to market to, and so forth. So we're just trying to get clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say then that probably the biggest challenge is getting enough paying clients.
Well, that's kind of important.
I've done an awful lot in trade, to get started. And I also, a lot of the workshops I'm doing right now are for the nonprofit, the Colorado Nonprofit Association, and those, they do not pay for the workshop, but it puts me in front of people.
Gotcha.
So making good progress, but the money in the door would be really nice.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you. What do you want? Because paying clients, if you got a slew of clients today and they all paid you $1, is that what you want?
If they paid me $1 for every minute I talk to them.
Okay, but you see where I'm going there, because you're not clear enough for your mind.
Okay.
You're not clear enough. So what is it for you? What would it mean for you to have, what does enough paying clients mean? Do you guys do you guys understand how a lack of clarity keeps you from moving forward? You can't see, I need more paying clients. You can't see that in your mind's eye. You have to be able to create it in your imagination.
Gotcha.
So you want to be able to see it, because that's where it all starts, is being able to see it. You guys think about this. Everything that you do in your life, you think about, and usually it's in the form of images that pop into your head. You usually see it first before it actually happens. I mean, even if you're, if you're planning, what I say is the toughest question in the whole world to answer. Like the hardest question in the whole world is what's for dinner? At some point, the reason you don't know what's for dinner is because you don't have it. You can't see or imagine what you're getting ready to eat. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer, what a great point Jennifer has brought up. She says she thinks it's scary sometimes to define something because that means you're actually committing to it. And there's the fear that it won't work. So it's easy to keep it vague. Yes, you are absolutely right. But you know what? I'm going to open up the door and allow you to continue to dream in a different way that allows the door to stay open. So I'm really excited about it. All right. So,
Rhonda, when we're
yes.
thinking about this, should we be thinking about like for the next month, the next year? I mean, because there's all different, when I look at the packages that I offer, I have all different ways that I know what my dollar amount that I want to make for the year. I know that. There's 45 different ways to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing this, what kind of time frame are you looking at?
Well, I put on the call for 2019.
Okay.
But here's the truth, Elisa. Some people don't have futuristic high enough to think through the whole year.
Yeah, that's
and they're
true.
too high. And here's another issue. Those of you high in adaptability, who's high in adaptability? Setting a goal feels restrictive. It feels like your freedom is taken away. It feels like my freedom is taken away. When I have to set a goal that is like on paper due by, that's not how I function. I have activator and adaptability. So guess what? I do it right now, in the moment. If I don't get it done right now, it's not going to happen. So for me, goals are shorter term. I have to bring them way in for me. Because otherwise it feels, I'm almost defeated before I get started. Same for connectedness. Yes, you have to stay open. That's right. So I'm getting ready to give you, go ahead, Elisa.
No, I was going to absolutely agree with that because even though I have futuristic, I also have connectedness. Mm-hmm. So I always have this belief that everything happens for a reason and everything's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless
and isn't it always?
Regardless
isn't it always?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So yeah, those SMART goals, I a couple of years ago, I'll have to go resurrect that thread. I posted a thread in one of the Gallup coaching groups about SMART goals and how they make me so anxious. I want to just throw up. Mm-hmm. So those of you with Achiever, you need SMART goals. You need to actually have it mapped out because that motivates you. For those of us who don't, Achiever's 27 for me. That's never going to motivate me. A list, I don't even take a list to the grocery store. I'm just being real here. So this is where you get to start to think about how you set goals within your talents and how you can start leveraging your talent to even set goals. All right, we're going to move on. And know when to dial it back for sure. It can hold you back. Connectedness absolutely can hold you back too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then you're not willing. You're like, oh, kumbaya, anything and everything. So here's what I want to do is I want to give you guys, and I'm going to ask you to write these down. I'm going to type them in the chat box so that we'll have them. But I'm going to give you something that I call these bridge phrases. Bridge phrases. So the first one that I'm going to give you is it's this one. I'm in the process of. Okay. So write that on your paper. I'm in the process of. And I want to explain this one first because this one, if you're in the process of something, then you are on your way to getting there. And so that's a better way of setting, in some cases, it's better to set goals through the process and acknowledge that you're in the process of making a six-figure income. Oftentimes we set goals and we create affirmations that are I am statements. I want to show you the difference. I am earning $100,000 a year through coaching. If you say that as an affirmation and it's not, you can only get away with it not long. Because what will happen is your brain will start calling you a liar. So if you say instead, I'm in the process of earning $100,000 a year through coaching, your brain, your mind does not object to that statement. Can everybody feel the difference between the two statements? One is the way we've been taught how to make affirmations. I am statements. I am statements must be true in your being, or your mind and body will object. Chad, you get that, right? So when you are in the process of something, it keeps you open instead of saying I am and it not be true. Your brain will shut you down if you do that. Okay? So that's the first one I want to start with. But then I want you to write these on your paper. I love the idea of, and this is on your third sheet of paper. Yes, particularly with responsibility. Yeah, because it's not true, Chad, you see? So if you're not earning that, you cannot affirm that. Not for long. You can be a want, but then wants are just wishes. So write on the third paper, your third sheet of paper, I'm going to give you these phrases. I love the idea of, I love knowing that, I love how it feels when, I've decided that, more and more now, it excites me, I'm excited at the thought of, I love seeing myself, it makes me happy to know that. Okay, can everybody see the chat box? I'll read them again for those of you who don't have access to it or can't see it, or you're not writing down, I'm going too fast or whatever. Yes, Joe, you're strategic. We each have a talent that's like that, though. So this is what we get to overcome, and you really can overcome it with vision. And vision for me, and the way I teach it, it starts with the words that you use. Thanks, Jennifer. Good. So, and by the way, you might, well, she's gone. I'll hit her later. You might want to go back and watch the replay to this, because what we're going to do now is I'm going to help you create a statement that is a vision statement. Okay. So a vision statement can actually guide your vision, and it can help that vision. It can help you stay open to what it is that you want. Okay. So let's go back to Maggie. Where'd Maggie go? There she is. Let's go back to Maggie for a second, where she said that she wanted more referrals. Where is she? She wanted more referrals. And then what did we say, Maggie? Can you open up a second?
Yeah, I'm open.
Okay.
So we said we'd like to get a qualifying referral for 50% of my clients.
Okay.
From 50% of my clients.
So if I had you set a goal and you said, I am going to get 50%. Yes, there's a replay, Chad. Yes. If you were to say, I am going to get 50% of the people I work with to give me a referral, how does that feel?
Doable.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. So for me, that doesn't feel doable. Like it sounds doable, but it doesn't feel doable. So one way to make that stay open to that, or like, let's say, for example, Maggie, that you try it for the first few weeks and it takes you time to get up to that 50%. That's when you might get tanked on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep affirming, I'm getting 50%, I've got 50%, and you keep aiming at that, but it's not working. And so then you can get frustrated. But if you stay open to, I love the idea of getting 50%. I love the idea of having 50% of my clients refer me with a qualified lead.
Yeah.
Do you love that?
I do.
I know. Here's another one. I love how it feels when. How can we fill in that blank?
I love how it feels when I get a nice qualified lead from a client.
Yes. Joe, these are definitely bridge phrases. That's did I already say that I call them? Yes, bridge phrases. They are key in changing your visions. And the reason that they're key is because of neuroscience and what they know and how you're working with your mind. You're working with your mind in a different way. And you're staying in the creative space, which is your imagination.
So Rhonda, are you saying use the bridge phrases as the to reframe how we articulate our vision? Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. Here's another one. It excites me to think about having 5 to 6 workshops a month. Does that excite you?
Yes.
That's better. That will position your brain to stay open to hunting for those 5 to 6 a month. If you put down on your goal sheet 5 to 6 a month, now you have pressure. Can you see the difference?
Well, I guess it's what I see is it's pressure, but it feels more doable.
Exactly. Which is why you're able to stay open. You see, Joe said it earlier. Did y'all hear this? Joe, I'm going to bring you up. But did you hear her say, I feel like nobody wants workshops in Peru where I live. It's that feeling piece, which is the body. Your subconscious mind speaks to you through your body. And so you get these feelings that stop you. Joe has a feeling that says she cannot do workshops in Peru, that the people there are not open to it. So let me go back. Let's go to Joe for a second so we can create this. Joe, come out and play.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so are you open to looking at
Of
this
course.
for okay, so do you love the idea of people doing workshops and wanting workshops in Peru?
I do.
Do you love the idea of it?
I do love the idea of it.
Because if you don't love the idea of it, it may not be what you really want.
I love the idea of having more workshops in Mexico than in Peru, though.
Okay. Do you see how you got clear on that? Guess
Yeah.
what? You're not getting any workshops in Peru. Because of the way you're feeling about it. You're not going to see the openings.
Right. Right.
Because your feelings are going to shut you down every time, because you still have the belief that there ain't nobody in Peru who wants any workshops.
There are people. There are people who want workshops. They just it's such a cultural thing. There's people who want workshops. They just want workshops the way they want workshops.
And it's not the way you want to give them.
And it's not the way that I want to give them.
Okay. So are you clear why you're not pursuing workshops in Peru?
Oh, yeah, at this point, yeah.
So, but it's not that you're in the wrong country. It's that you see something else.
Okay.
Unless you really do want to work in Peru on workshops. I mean, do you want to?
At this point, no, I don't.
Where are you feeling that? You have absolute clarity. Where are you feeling it?
What, like in my body or?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, in my body. Oh, gut.
It's a gut feeling that you're not doing any.
It's a gut feeling that, yeah.
That you don't even want to do them. It's
Not
like
really.
It's like
No, I really don't. I
executives for
really
me.
don't.
Yeah. I have no desire to work with a C-suite executive.
No, I even have an opportunity coming that's going to open up in-person workshops for me, but I'm looking at it as a stepping stone to what I really do want, and not that becomes the thing.
What is it that you really do want?
I love my location freedom. I want to continue doing what I'm doing and doing more of it. My Strengths Unleashed program. But I do want to start building the Strong Communities program as well, so that I can become a trainer to open up more strong communities for Latin America.
Okay, so I put on that you love location freedom, you love your Strengths Unleashed, and you want to build strong communities.
Yes.
And you want to start in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay. So I love the idea of working in Mexico and building strong communities in Mexico. Is that an absolute true? Is that absolutely
That
true?
is an absolute true statement.
Okay. So that's where you want to stay focused.
Okay.
So do you love knowing that there are good possibilities? That's another bridge phrase. I love knowing that there are opportunities in Mexico for my business.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get one for the, I love how it feels when. I love, because it's the feeling, right? If you guys can see the vision of your business in your imagination, you want to be able to see it to the point where you physically feel it. Like it fills you with excitement. You're so excited about it. So how would it feel for you to be doing more workshops in Mexico?
Incredibly fulfilling. It takes me to a happy place.
Okay. So so here's one that might work for you.
Yeah, it excites me.
I'm excited at the thought of working with more communities in Mexico.
Yes.
Instead of, I'm going to work with more communities in Mexico. Do you hear the difference?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm excited by it.
Mm-hmm. I love seeing myself. Here's where I want to take you in your imagination. I love seeing myself what? Put yourself there in a workshop in Mexico.
No, I love seeing myself in high demand.
Okay. I love seeing myself in high demand. What does that feel like?
Uplifting. It feels satisfying.
Okay. I just want you to know
Which
how it feels.
which maybe doesn't sound like a big word, but it's a big word in my head. It's a big word in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Bless somebody.
Bless you, Caroline.
So, okay, cool. Yeah. So are you guys understanding? Tell me that you're getting, here's what I'd love for you to do is to write something, each of you in the chat box, something using one of the bridge phrases. I'm going to pull them back down again. I'm going to put them right here in the chat box. So can somebody write a sentence of what you want? I'm going to read you guys a couple of statements here. Hang on just a second. Let me, and I'm going to let you go ahead and write that in there. Because when you're clear, you see so much differently. I'm going to read you guys a vision statement that I worked on with somebody recently. Okay. Who would love to write a vision, use a bridge phrase and tell me something that you want? So you're going to take what you want and you're going to use a bridge phrase with it. Maggie, I love how it feels when I'm doing workshops and knowing that it is making the light bulbs go off for the clients. I have Holy Ghost bumps. I want you to know that I physically am feeling that. I love the feeling when they come up to me after and tell me how great the workshop was and that they'd like to do more work with me. Can you see that and feel that, Maggie? That's super important. It's super important when you can put these bridge phrases together with a statement about what you want in your business. Let me show you what it actually sounds like. Okay. This is a client, by the way, just so you know, who has strategic, futuristic, and significance. And she is the owner of a big real estate company here where I live. So here's what she is, what I helped her with. Here we go. I'm in the process of attracting and creating my best relationship with my company and all of its leadership. I love the idea of growing the company in a positive environment with confidence and ease. It makes me happy to think about having excellent camaraderie and peace within the culture of the whole company. I love knowing that my integrity, honesty, and authenticity are well known within the company. I like seeing inside my imagination my continued success with the company and knowing that I had a significant role in that success. It makes me happy to build something that changes the lives of agents and their families. I'm excited at the thought of being known for bringing on agents who want to have ownership and create their own financial success. So when I was talking to this lady, yes, you can do anything, Maggie, you can. So when I was working with this lady, just to give you an idea of where she was really struggling with getting people to come on board with her company. So she's a recruiter for a company. And so she would sit down and she would do this presentation, and then what would they say? Well, let me think about it. And then she would have trouble tracking them down and all that kind of stuff, right? So the very first time she did a presentation, after we crafted this vision statement for her, the very first person that she presented to, she finished the presentation and she closed the book, the presentation manual thing, you know. She closed the book and she said, "Can I just be real?" And she said, this is what I'm looking for. And she was so clear about what she was looking for that the lady in front of her said, "Where can I sign? I'm ready to sign right now." And she brought on $1 million producer within 24 hours. When you guys get really clear on what it is that you want to create and you craft the vision in such a way that it shows up inside your mind's eye, that you can actually see yourself. Joe, this is where I want you to go. I want you to see yourself, you know, in a place, and you can keep some of the details vague, of course, and fuzzy, but if you can see yourself building community, like what does that look like? It's more than just a presentation, isn't it? Joe, let's work with that one for just a second. So let's flesh this out for you. And then I know you guys have to go. So, but I want to really work with this on and try to get you this vision statement for you. So I love the idea of what?
I love the idea of living in Mexico and building community.
Okay. So I love knowing that. What do you love knowing about that? Okay, so you're in Mexico, you're building community. What do you love knowing about that?
I love knowing that I am going to be surrounded by more like-minded people.
Okay, I just removed something. I removed I'm going to be.
Okay.
Instead, I love
I love that I'm surrounded by more like-minded people. I love that I am establishing roots somewhere.
I love knowing that, hold on, I want to change something. I love, because you're in the process. I want to go back to the very beginning because I'm in the process of creating community in Mexico. Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm in the process of creating community in Mexico. I love knowing that I am surrounded by more like-minded people and am establishing roots. All right. It excites me. Let's try that one. It excites me to think about. What does it excite you to think about?
It excites me. Oh, so many things. It excites me to think about having a home to call my own.
Okay, so you're veering off of building community in Mexico, or is it all
That's all part of building community.
Okay.
That's all part of building community.
Okay, cool. Good.
Because it's about having sanctuary. It's having a place where I belong.
So I love the idea of belonging. I love knowing that I have sanctuary. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you guys seeing how by adding these phrases and you can actually build a comprehensive vision statement? And that's what I want you to do. We can't do that here except for me to give you the pieces of it, but I would love to see what you come up with. Feel free to send me a note. In fact, I'm going to put on here how you can reach me is at soar.com, Rhonda Boyle. And I would love for you to send me your vision statements. Send me a statement about what your business looks like. After you think about, here, these are the pieces of it. It's step number one is what's wrong. So you have to identify what's wrong first. You have to figure out what's not working. And then number two, ask, what do I want? And then number three, get clear. And then number four, write a vision statement. Okay, so this is what I meant when I said that we were casting a vision into what it is that you really want. And so there you go. So who has questions, comments, anything that you would like clarity on? Those are the 4 pieces of really getting clear and casting your vision into the future of what it is that you want. And it can be for anything, you know. What's wrong? I'm hungry. What do I want? Tacos. No, what do I want? Food. Okay, I got to be more specific, right? So tacos. I love the idea of tacos for dinner. And now all of a sudden you're looking in your pantry, figuring out what you need from the grocery store to make tacos. You see, we do these things all day. We do this all day. We just don't see it. We don't sit down and write it formally And so that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do around your goals and your visions for your business, is to get really, really clear, and then write your vision in such a way that it stays open, and you stay open to what you find along the path, where you're headed. So Joe, I really believe you will be in, thanks Maggie, you will be in Mexico, and I'll probably come visit. Who has some questions? I'm so glad you guys joined me today, and we've been an hour. So if you have anybody have anything for me, I'd love to answer. If you want to work with me a little minute, I can stop the recording. And in fact, I'm going to do that. So I'll stop the recording now and hang out for the rest of you. So if you're watching the recording, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help you. You can find me at soar.com/Rhonda Boyle. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks.